Christ, you people suck. Wow. Wolverine on a tangent.
Back in the days when we played video games, it was hardcore for the nerdy and lazy. Now things have changed and all our video games are also for the casual and lady.
But that's okay, you know the score. We told you a million times before. Playing consoles, not just games, is in the past. And every week you listen to the best damn internet radio crew. It's the N4G podcast. It's the N4G podcast.
Alright, it's time. Another week. N4G Radio. This is episode 645 from March 29th, 2021. And on the show this week, we got the Wombat.
Yep.
And we got Jordan.
Yep,
And that's it.
that's it. That's three.
Yeah.
Tiny little one today.
Yeah, it's a little sideshow. Well,
Little sideshow. We've done a two-man show before on those, or...
I don't think I've been on a two-man. Have I? Has it been? I think it's been me and you once.
Maybe.
I think there was one years ago. There was just me and you. I can't remember.
It's possible.
yeah.
I act like a two-man show is a bad thing, but like, isn't like Phoenix Down like a two-man show most weeks?
Yeah,
Most weeks, yeah.
You just talk a bit more about shit, is all.
I mean, pretty much.
And the show's probably a little bit shorter, and that's really about it.
Unless it's me and Anthony, and then somehow we still manage to go over 2 hours. I don't know how that ever happens. Got a lot to say, man. But video games, unfortunately, we thought we were going to have Drew, and Drew was going to talk about Monster Hunter, because Monster Hunter is obviously the game from this past week. But instead you get us, and I don't think that anybody... Like, there was 3 big games came out on Friday, right? And then...
They're three, were they?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on your definition of big games. I mean, Monster Hunter was a big game.
Yes.
Apparently, It Takes Two is very good, but I can't play it because I don't have anybody to play it with.
No, me
Yep.
neither.
And then Balan Wonderworld, which I did play, which I'll talk about in a little while, but a lot of people don't
Did you
really
not give
care
that-
for that game.
Did you not give that to Anthony?
No, I gave him It Takes Two. He has that, so
Okay.
he had somebody to play
I
with.
did-
So there.
I didn't.
I want to play it.
Well,
I heard it's awesome, but I need somebody to
I
commit like 5 to 6 hours, however long it is.
Yeah, it's nice that if you've got it, your friend can, your other person can play it for free, kind of thing.
Yeah, but I
That's
think in
good.
total in 2021, I have played 1 hour of games with somebody else, and probably in 2020, I played 3 hours of games with other people.
That's because you're antisocial like me.
I'm not antisocial, just ain't nobody got no time.
I'm not great at card games. I get aggravated too easily.
The angry man.
The angry British man gets aggravated.
You'd be like that dude that yells at the Lego games.
Yep, that's me.
Oh my god, never mind. Well, let's talk about what we are playing. We'll start with John. What do you got going on?
Not a lot, really. I played
Playing a little Arnold
more-
Schwarzenegger there.
Bobcat Goldthwait. Yeah, I ain't really played a lot, to be fair. Work's been hella busy, so I've not had a huge amount of time. I have played some more Binding, of course. That's my weekly thing. There's some new stuff coming out next week, so I'm excited for that. Some new content, new DLC on PC, so that'll be interesting. I also hopped back into Stardew Valley, just solely because I think that game's really nice. It's a kind of just a relaxing game where nothing is, you don't have to worry about much. It's, I don't know, it's just kind of a nice brain cleanser of a game. So I picked it up. It was on sale on the Xbox. So I picked it up on the store there and fired it up, and just even like the music's calming, like the whole look of it. It's just it mellows me out from when I'm angry and playing co-op games. It's a good game to mellow me out.
Didn't it just get like a co-op patch or something?
It did, yeah. There is a co-op version now built in. I'm not playing that because of that.
You pissed off at your partner farmer.
I don't know how it is. I think it's like co-op farming. I'm sure that works really fine. But for me, it's just a game that you can fire up and you can play for whether you want 15 minutes or a couple of hours, and it's just a nice, relaxing experience. And that's what I kind of wanted this week. I think just to wind down from work. It's been quite nice. I also fired up a little bit of Octopath Traveler. Didn't play much of that at all. Just wanted to fire it up and see how it looks, and it looks really nice. On the Xbox. Yeah, and that is everything. I have done nothing this week. I've played no big games. I've been a bit dull. I have watched a lot of Marvel movies, and I watched the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and that's about it.
All right.
That was short and sweet.
Yeah, we're 5 minutes in. We're doing good. We're doing good for time.
We'll wrap this up in half an hour, boys.
Yeah, 30 minutes. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of news, so maybe not. Wombat.
Yeah, so I really haven't played anything,
All right.
which is great for a video game podcast, I know.
Yeah.
So that's not entirely true, I guess. I did play Pokken Tournament
Oh, yeah. The Tekken.
on the Wii U, this morning. Because my son has been itching to play it.
On the
so.
what now? On the what now?
On the Wii U, John.
What's that?
It
What's
was
the Wii U?
it was a magical Nintendo system that almost no one bought.
It was an upgrade for the Wii, right? It's a screen.
Yeah,
for the Wii.
that was it. It's
An extra
it's a
screen, you
for
just
the
buy the
Wii.
screen.
Yeah. Yeah, so have
So-
you not got the Pokken on the Switches?
No, I didn't see the point in buying it when I already owned it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's-
Yeah, I mean, eventually, if he decides he wants to play it more, we may upgrade because my gamepad for the Switch doesn't work unless it's like right up next to the Switch, or not Switch,
Yeah,
sorry, the Wii U.
that was a horror. That was whatever they used for connection on that thing was terrible.
Yeah, so I bought a new thing to put in the pad, but I've just never opened it up to fix it. But eventually we may upgrade if he decides he wants to keep playing it. But so yeah, and that game is a lot of fun if you haven't already played it. It, as Ken described, is kind of like Tekken, but with Pokemon characters, and it's pretty cool. It's got a multi-phase battle system where you start out in like a 3D fighting game where you can run around the arena and you have different moves. And then there are certain moves that you can hit somebody with that will switch the phase into like a 2D fighter, and then you have different moves there. So it's pretty fun. It's definitely not. If anybody looked at it and thought, "Oh, well, this is a kid's game," it's definitely not. It's got some depth to it. So, and then I mean, really, that's it. I'm gonna try and play a little bit of Valhalla today to try and polish that off. I'm on the last mission. And that's really it. I haven't had much time this past week to play much of anything, really. So next for me will be Hitman. I'm going to jump into Hitman 3 next once I finish off Valhalla. And thinking about getting into Rise too, but I'm going to wait a little bit and see if it calls me to itself before I jump in, because I do have some other backlog stuff that I could play too before I drop money on another game.
I mean, I thought for certain you would be starting up Outriders this week. I mean, I know you love the demo.
Definitely not. Although I will get Octopath Traveler off of Game Pass But I may do that on the PC because I think it's on PC too, right?
Yeah.
On Game Pass.
Yep.
Yeah, I may do that on PC so that I can move it around the house. But yeah, I'm excited to play that actually as well. So, and then everything is building up towards Dark Alliance in June.
Oh, I thought you were going to say MLB The Show, which is in 2 weeks.
Well, that's for sure. But I put those games in a different category than like the single player RPGs that I normally play. Sports games to me are just I play those all year round. So
True.
that's a little. I will play a sports game and another single player RPG at a time, but I won't play two single player RPGs at the same time.
But you won't
Or
do
single
that.
player games. Period. I won't do that. I would do anything for games, but I won't do that.
I won't do that.
Yes, Meatloaf.
But yeah, I am very excited for the show in a couple weeks.
Is that the one that's now cross-platform?
What's on Xbox, which is crazy.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
I booted it up
Yep.
because I got into the technical beta or whatever.
Yep.
On the Insider program, and I booted it up on Xbox. And I'm like, all right, I just needed to see this.
Yep.
It's fucking weird, man.
Did it come up with the Sony San Diego Studios
Yeah.
logo, and you thought this is so weird?
I was like, and it's got button prompts for the Xbox controller. You're like, what is going on? Cats and dogs living together? What the hell?
Yeah. It's on the Wii or on the Switch too, isn't it?
They haven't said anything about a Switch version yet. Like I
they were
thought
putting it on the Switch.
it was coming to the Switch too, but there's no like, there's nothing out there about it.
If you remember when all the hoopla happened about it being multi-platform, both Xbox and Nintendo posted about it on their social media, with like a big eye emojis.
Yeah, but I haven't seen a Switch and in fact, the press release only mentions PlayStation and Xbox.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just they're having trouble getting it on there, or I don't know.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, not a whole lot fits on the Switch nowadays.
Need that Switch Pro.
Yeah, that you can't buy because you won't be able to buy one.
With 1 terabyte internal hard drive.
1 terabyte, please. It's more like 320 gigabytes.
What's the Switch? 32, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's crazy, days. But at least they weren't douchey enough to have a proprietary memory card.
No, but
Yeah.
those micro cards are still super fucking expensive.
Yeah, they are.
Like the big ones are. I mean, I got 256 of mine, and that was like 17 quid. That's fine, but if you'd have a Pro, which probably has high res graphics packs and things like that, then you'd want more memory on that, surely.
Well,
'Cause
the rumor is that
games
it
are gonna
runs.
take up more.
Well, the rumor is that it runs DLSS, so that's not exactly
but
higher textures. So
No, but it will probably require more space needed on a game, surely.
oh no,
I
I
don't
bought
know.
one of the 400 gig ones, and I haven't had to worry about space at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But then
that's a
again,
good
I'm not
thing so far.
downloading. I'm not downloading the Call of Duty on the Switch. So.
Call of
No.
Duty.
No, thank God.
And truthfully, I think I deleted Call of Duty off my Xbox. I mean, it's like up over 120 gigs or something like that, and I don't ever play it.
It's
So
just crazy.
It's stupid. Absolutely stupid.
Marvel's Avengers is 106 gigs on the next gen.
Just
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, but I don't think that's ridiculous. I think that they're still giving us less than 1 terabyte of space on a console is ridiculous. The size of games is always going to increase eventually because of the higher res assets and all that stuff. But the fact that you technically, as we discussed last week, get like 600 gigabytes of usable memory with no expansion on a PlayStation, that's crazy.
Yeah, 600 gigabytes ain't a lot. I got like 17 games on my PS5, which is still a lot of games.
hmm
But
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm at the point where I just if I'm not playing it, I delete it off my or I move it to my external hard drive.
Yeah.
And so when I'm playing it, I'll move it to my internal hard drive, and when I'm not playing it, I move it to the external.
Yep. I
That's
mean,
a
an
fair way of doing
external,
it.
externals are cheap.
Yep.
So. Well, I guess I can rattle through some of these games. I played 2 Monster Truck games.
Yay.
I feel like if these 2 games would have like combined into one game, they'd have been a really good video game. So like Monster Jam Steel Titans 2 has all the licensing, has like all the real trucks. But it like uses this open world kind of mesh, and it's confusing, and like the best trucks are locked behind like collectibles, and by the time I collected enough to unlock the trucks, I kind of didn't want to play the game anymore because it's kind of like the same shit over and over again. But then the other one is Monster Truck Championship, and like that one has cool modes and a career mode, and like it plays better, but it doesn't have any of the trucks. It just has like 16 trucks that you can customize. So I feel like there was 2 Monster Truck games that came out within like 2 weeks of each other, and if it had just been one game, they'd have been a really neat game. So it's kind of depressing.
Can't say I'm a Monster Truck fan.
I'm not a Monster Truck fan, but the video games are kind of fun sometimes, like driving over cars and doing tricks and shit. Like, it's cool, but I don't know. It's one of those games that always sounds really awesome on paper, and then somehow they fuck it up, and I don't know how. Like the only one that I can ever remember that I loved was Monster Truck Madness. Like, those games were super fun. Like, everything else has just been kind of bleh. I've been playing Bladed Fury, which is a side-scrolling like action game.
It's that Steven Seagal movie I talked about last week.
No. This is
Actually, I'm thinking about it. It's very similar to Blind Fury, which was a Rutger Hauer film back in the 90s where he played a blind swordsman.
Wow, that's a deep pull right there, John.
That is a deep pull. That's like one of those like late on Cinemax movies that nobody watched,
I can remember watching it because it was about the similar sort of time that his other film, Split Second, which was a knockoff Alien film, came out. But I can remember Blind Fury. And I can remember it being equal parts cool and like a cool premise of a blind swordsman. And, but
he had his sword in his fucking cane.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Yes. And equal parts absolutely batshit bonkers.
That was in that time period in the early 90s where you could get literally any action movie made.
Yeah, and it was always
like
a white guy being like a ninja or something.
Yeah. I mean, the American Ninja movies by themselves got me through 80% of my growing up.
Michael Dudikoff.
Yeah. Michael Dudikoff.
Yeah.
Well, once they got further in, wasn't there a female one too?
There was, yeah.
I can remember there being was it the third one? There was another guy, someone Bradley someone.
Yeah, they did switch, but I can't remember his name. The only thing I remember is Sasha Mitchell taking over as kickboxer in that series.
God, man, late 80s, early 90s action movies were fucking.
Oh, they were the jam. Speaking of Rutger Hauer, do you guys remember Surviving the Game with Ice-T?
Yeah.
Don't think I've seen that one.
Ice-T is in some of the best.
Great movie.
Yeah, Ice-T is in some of the best movies you've never seen, like fucking Trespass. There's another one.
Wasn't he in Tank Girl?
Yes.
As a dog?
Yes.
Yes, that was it. Yeah, I think that's what that and I think I've seen Trespass. Did Trespass have Bill Paxton in it?
Yeah, Bill Paxton, and I think is Ice Cube in that too, or
I don't know. I haven't seen that one.
Trespass is a great movie.
That was I remember watching Trespass, but I haven't seen what that other one you said was.
Surviving the Game.
Surviving. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's about these people who hunt human beings for sport. Like they find Ice-T is homeless, and they bring him to this island and hunt him.
You called him Ice Tube, and I lost it internally.
I know. I got halfway between Ice Cube and Ice-T.
There's your rapper name, Ryan. Ice
Yeah.
Cube.
Ice Tube.
Ice Tube.
But Blade of Fury is about a lady ninja, and she's like cutting people off. It plays good, and I like the art style of it too. Like it's got like this kind of almost, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Like paper mache kind of thing to it. Lots of sharp edges. It's cool. It's a cool game.
Is it on Game Pass or is it on PC?
No,
Or
it's not on Game Pass. It's just an indie action game. Pretty good.
I'll wait for it to be on Game Pass.
Of course you will.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah. I checked out the next gen upgrade for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2.
Oh, is that out?
Yeah, came out Friday, and much like Overwatch, playing Tony Hawk at 120 frames a second is butter. Oh my god, it feels so good. And they've added like some new textures and stuff, and some new shadows, new lighting. Like it looks really good. I'm not a fan of the fact that they're screwing over the people who bought that game physically. Like there's no upgrade path for that.
Why
That kind of
not?
sucks.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bit weird because you download. I mean, it's the disc is just like the old systems. The disc is the key. So what does it matter if you just download the assets? That seems a bit rough.
Yeah, Activision's refusal to use smart delivery has been kind of a pain in the ass. And again, it's got problems on both sides. So, like on Xbox, it doesn't use smart delivery, so it gives you like a completely new version. And also, you can only get it if you bought the deluxe edition. And if you don't own that, then you have to pay $10 to upgrade to the next gen version. And then on PlayStation,
Good old Activision.
yeah, and then on PlayStation, it does the bullshit of like, well, you've gotta have the original game installed, or you gotta download it if you want to transfer your save. So, like, it sucks because this version is totally worth upgrading to, but
Well, Bobby Kotick's got to get his £200 million bonus a year, hasn't he? So that's how they do it.
I don't know. It's frustrating because like the games that it does, like if you go to Avengers, and you know we talked about this last week, like Microsoft's smart delivery system was perfect. Like that game literally prompted me. It said, "Hey, there's a next gen version. Download it, boot it up, save came right up." Like all that stuff just worked.
Mm.
And then you've got these companies that don't use it, and it's a pain in the ass. Then you've got the way Sony's got it set up, where you got to have the original PS4 version installed.
Which is the dumbest thing.
Yeah, like how can you not just pull the cloud save? I don't get it.
Isn't that because aren't all cloud saves locked behind PS Plus, whereas Microsoft don't
Yes.
lock all? Yeah, so that might have something to do with it because I think you get a certain amount of storage available for free with Xbox, whereas you don't with PlayStation. So that might be why. I don't know.
I got an idea. Why don't you just remove that?
Yeah, why not?
Remove that
Yeah.
restriction, because you know you never hear anybody hollering about that restriction being removed, but boy howdy, you'll hear nothing but fucking constant for Microsoft to remove the paywall for free to play games, which I agree with 100%. You shouldn't have to pay to play online a free to play game.
No.
That shit is archaic, and Microsoft is removing it. Like it's in
To
testing
be
right
fair,
now.
I don't think you should have to pay to play online anyway.
No, we shouldn't. I mean, you don't have to on PC.
We've been doing it for years,
Yeah.
but that argument has been back and forth to plenty of times, and it's one of those givens now, isn't it? Where it's like, well, if you're playing online on a console, you're paying for it. But yes, you're right. For free, at least, at the very least, if it's a free game, they shouldn't be charging for that.
And cloud saves are free on PC. They're free on Xbox. They're not free on Switch, but then again, that's Nintendo, so. Fucking Nintendo. man.
Well, it's also game specific with Nintendo, so who fucking knows?
God, like, you ever go on your Switch and load up the online, like the Nintendo Online, like a little spot down in the
Occasionally.
menu? It's so fucking
Yep.
slow. It's like trying to access a web page back in the dial-up days. Oh my god, it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's real slow.
Ugh. But anyway,
Nintendo get away with what they do because they still make quality games. That's how they get away with it.
I mean, I guess like everything that we bitch about on a regular basis for Xbox and PlayStation, like nobody bitches about it on Nintendo, and it's kind of like, well, you just
They
accept
get
it,
a pass. Yeah.
and you shouldn't accept it because it's garbage.
No, I agree.
How come we don't have Nintendo Game Pass with like why don't we have more than 50 NES games on Nintendo Online?
You should pay about £1 a month for it.
I don't give a fuck. I certainly
That's
don't.
the reason.
Well, I certainly don't
Hey,
pay for Nintendo's online service to play online because who the fuck plays online on the Switch?
Yeah, that's the thing is that I think when my subscription runs out, I will not bother because it's all of those games I've now got an Odroid Super, and so I emulate the older games. I don't need those games, and again, no one plays online. I mean, I don't play Monster Hunter, I don't play Smash, I don't, the games that I have on the Switch are primarily single player games, so it does, even at like a couple of quid a quid a month or whatever, it still doesn't seem worth it.
It's probably not, but I just keep paying for it anyway because I got to save for Link to the Past. I just keep playing it over and over again.
Yep.
I also booted up Octopath. That game is very good. I look forward to playing through that as a different character. I started a character on the Switch and never finished it. So I started a different character on the Xbox, and I'll probably never finish that either, but I'm going to try. I do have to say that game is hard. I made it to the first boss, and it just fucking wiped me, man. I got to get back in that mindset.
That game is a bit brutal.
Yeah, I got to get back in that mindset of JRPG turn-based shit. It can be a challenge. The DLC for Immortals finally dropped. The Chinese mythology one.
Yep.
Yeah, that is cool. I am kind of disappointed that you don't get to create your character. It's like a boilerplate character. You can't even customize it, at least not at the beginning. But so far I'm enjoying it, although it is pretty much the same game. Within the first dungeon, I already have the gliding wings, and it has the same moves, and there's not a whole lot different to what you're doing.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it just seems like there's different enemies and different, obviously you're not, doing chores for the Greek gods, but now you're doing stuff for, Chinese mythology gods, so that's kind of the big difference. But yeah, the gameplay is all the same. You've got the same, uppercut move, you've got the same, parry move, it's all the same stuff, so. But, I'm still going to play through it because I love Immortals Phoenix Rising, and I think it's cool to kind of take it to a different area, so. All right. I'm talking about Balan Wonderworld.
Yeah, let's talk about Balan Wonderworld.
Balan Wonderworld. Did anybody here play the demo?
No.
Nope.
Okay. So Balan...
Nice chat.
Balan Wonderworld is the latest game from... It's Yuji Naka, right? Am I...
Nights into Dreams and that.
Yeah, it's the guys that made Nights. I thought that was Yuji Naka. I was pretty sure it was Yuji Naka. Did y'all like platformers in the Saturn and PS1 days?
Nope.
Some of them.
I mean...
Not 3D platformers, no.
Oh, yeah. No, not 3D platformers generally.
I mean, that's what this is. This is man. Okay. So Balan Wonderworld, I feel has become the internet's, punching bag. Everybody has agreed to gang up and just, shit on this game. And I can understand. I can understand where the disappointment is, but I'm gonna be real honest with you. I don't hate it. It reminds me of a Saturn 3D platformer. I always find it funny when people have rose-colored glasses for games like Nights.
Dude, Nights sucks. I'm sorry. I'll say it right now. It sucks.
Your rose-colored glasses are about 2 inches thick for Nights. That game was not a good video game.
No.
But to tell me Balan Wonderworld is worse than Nights into Dreams, y'all are fucking high. Balan Wonderworld is a game that if you paid $30 for, you'd be like, wow, this feels like a kind of cheap 3D platformer, which, let's put it in the same conversation as Croc. I know we talk a lot about Croc on here.
Oh,
But if
love
you go
Croc.
back and
That
play
was the only
Croc,
one that I ever.
it's not a great game, John.
It's not. It's a terrible game. It's absolutely terrible.
Yeah. Balan Wonderworld's kind of in the same ballpark as Croc. Like, it's... So there are things that I do like about it. Like, I love the themes of the levels. Like, it's real colorful. It's real pretty. When you beat a boss, you do a dance number. I mean, how can you not fucking like that? That's just a fun thing. The core of the gameplay is that, like, you're just playing as this character. It's kind of like Knights. You're playing as this little boy or this little girl. And your powers come from these suits that you pick up. And you pick up the suits in the different levels, and each suit gives you a different power. One of them allows you to spin jump. One of them allows you to float jump. One of them allows you to go through water. One of them shoots fireballs. So, like, they all have one little power. Now, that kind of sucks because, like, if you're in an area and you pick up a power and you don't need it or you can't get to a certain thing because you don't have that power, it feels very limited. But the game is so fucking stupidly easy that it just doesn't matter. Like, I don't think that I've died. I'm about halfway through the game. I don't even know if you die if it makes a big difference. Like, it's not like you're punished for dying. The one thing that does annoy me about the game is, like, every time you do mess up or you fall off a ledge or something like that, it kind of resets way, way back, and you have to do a lot of the same stuff over, and it, like, doesn't let you keep things that you've picked up, which kind of sucks, so you got to pick up the suit again. You can also find the hats, which take you to kind of like the Knights game where you would turn into the fucking Jester, the purple Jester, and fly around. So in this one, you get to be the dude on the cover with the top hat, you know, the creepy looking guy. And it's basically just either pressing the A button at a time or mashing it. Like, there's nothing else to it. And that's all you do. But that's kind of the theme of this game, is that it's more or less just like a showcase. Like, it's not really hard in any respect. It's got some decent music. It's got some interesting... Like, the hub world, you collect the gems when you're playing through the levels. The more gems you collect, you take it back to the hub world. You feed it to these little fucking things. These little things get on the spin wheel, and they spin around and move a counter up. And as the counter moves up, you create like a version of this centerpiece, and eventually the centerpiece will fill out and finish. And then you could feed the little fuckers to the bigger fuckers, and it is straight out of 1997 platforming. It's like a game that if it was $20 or $30, you'd be like, okay. But the fact that Square Enix sold it for $60 and didn't even send a review code to any site until Friday raises a hell of a lot of flags. Also, if it's unpatched, it can give you a seizure on the final boss, from what I'm reading.
Yay!
Oh, good.
Yeah. So, it's a weird game, and if what I hear is true, Yuji Naka and his team are kind of fucked because Square didn't want to do the game, and they said, okay, well, you got one shot. You know, they basically said, hey.
One opportunity.
Yeah. And I got a feeling this game is going to bomb. So, yeah.
Well,
I don't hate the game. Like, I find it funny that the internet has picked this game as, like, here's my punching bag. I'm going to make fun of this game. This is the worst game ever. Dude, there are shittier games out there. There are a lot shittier games out there than Balan Wonderworld. But at $60, don't buy this game at $60. You will be...
I'll wait for it to come to Game Pass.
You cheap motherfucker.
I don't even know what platforms it's on. I haven't.
It's on
followed
everything.
This game at all.
I mean, it's literally on everything. It's on PC, Switch, Xbox, PlayStation. It's everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it seems like a Switch game. That's the sort of game I would expect to see that on. But I've seen very, very little. I've heard, as you say, the bashing that it's taken. But I've as a game, I've seen very little of it.
Yeah, I don't understand the mentality of wanting to shit all over it. I don't know if people were like...
Well, you've got to shit on something, and there are fewer games at the moment out. So, you know, I guess if there's one that is standing out as disappointing, that's the one they're all going to pick on, and they're going to amplify it because they've got nothing else to talk about. So.
I mean, go back 2 weeks ago, excuse me, to that that indie game that I tweeted the video about where the enemy wouldn't even fucking like move. Shit on that game. That game was $40.
Yeah, but you're talking about, you say Square Enix has published this?
Yeah, Square Enix published this.
Yeah, it's a big game, isn't it? So that's indies. No one wants to shit on an indie because who cares? But you get a big game and a big name. That's
Fuck that, John. You know how many indie press releases I get in my inbox that it's roguelike Dark Souls? Man, eat my ass. I'm tired of this shit.
I know. But nobody cares because it's they want to attack something that's worth attacking.
But it's not worth attacking.
A big publisher.
If you don't like the game, move the fuck on.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Again, I can't attest to the game. I'm going on your word saying it's not brilliant, but it's a fine game. But people don't like that. People want to spit out bile and this game is the worst thing. Oh, it's whatever. It's all rubbish and they bash it because they want to be heard. They want their 2 pence to be heard. So
I don't give a fuck.
It's why I don't go on the socials as much as I used to, because it is, ever since COVID and ever since like the console war started up again, it's been a horrible place to go, and I don't like seeing a lot of it because it just gets you down.
Boy, we'll talk about it later because somebody tweeted about it, but man, the fanboy war got hot this week, and it was over the dumbest goddamn thing.
Always is.
Oh,
Always is.
I don't understand you fucking internet warriors, you console warriors. What the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway. Then I played a bunch of Overwatch. I couldn't I've been in a rut, man. I've been trying to get into a game, and I can't seem to get into a game, like to where I just want to kind of sit down and play that. So literally, I think I put about 15 hours into Overwatch this weekend. And
Add on to your 1,500 hours you've got now.
It's, man, I don't know what it is about that game. It is just like 5 fucking years I've been playing that game. It's half a decade. That's half the age of my son. I've been playing that game half as long as my son's been alive.
Poor son, been neglected half his life.
I think I start to wonder at this point, like, when will I stop playing this game? Because, like, the sequel's coming out next year. And I don't consider that stopping playing Overwatch because it's kind of the same. Just a continuation of that game, so. Wonder if I'm still going to be trying to hone my skills at age 50.
Good luck with that.
I'll definitely be in bronze ranking at age 50. So I should probably try to get my diamond status while I can. I'm super close to diamond, and like that. I felt like platinum would be my peak, but I'm so close to diamond now that I'm like, man, I bet I could do it. I bet if I sat down and I committed myself, I could do it.
Do it.
I don't think it's a good idea to do it, John. Because I get mad because I feel like Overwatch's matchmaking is a 50-50 shot, John. Very rarely do you get like a really solid game where like both teams are kind of equal. I feel like a lot of times you either roll or get rolled.
Roll or get rolled.
Yeah, that's how the games feel a lot of times, and I think that's what's frustrating. And sometimes when I'm on my game, I can carry. And sometimes when I'm not quite on my game, I get rolled. So, I don't know. I still play the fucking game even though I get called an asshole in Spanish. Which was the thing that happened last week. I had to translate it because I got a message on Xbox Live. And I was like,
they don't still do that, do they?
Well, I have to accept it, and sometimes I'm kind of curious because like I wanted to see what it said, and it was in Spanish. I was like, wonder what that means. And I translated. I was like, it says you are an asshole. I was like, okay. I felt like I just needed to reply with gracias. I usually combat negativity with kindness. That's usually how I roll.
It's the way to be.
Yeah, you gotta have to in this world because man, there's just too many angry and bitter people out there.
There are a lot of angry and bitter people.
Anyway, that's it for me. I'm hoping something comes out. I know Wombat doesn't care for it, but I'm hoping I get into Outriders this weekend when it launches on Friday. I mean, I'm out
That would
nothing.
be cool.
It's on Game Pass, so what have I got to lose? But the 10 minutes it'll take me to download it. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's talk about what is coming out this week. As I mentioned, Outriders is out on the 1st of April. It will be on Game Pass. Hitman 3, first DLC, The 7 Deadly Sins Greed, is out this week. Tennis World Tour 2 is getting a next-gen upgrade, which is out this week. PlayStation 5 is getting Auto Chess, so if you wanted to do that, you can now do that on the PlayStation 5.
Don't even know what that is.
I don't either. It's a spin-off of Dota, but I don't understand what auto chess is. It's like it sounds like somebody's automatically playing chess for you, and that just kind of seems to defeat the purpose.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either.
And then Disco Elysium, the final cut, is making its way to consoles this week.
I know what that is.
Well, there you go. Microsoft Xbox published Doom 3 VR edition is coming to PlayStation VR this week. I just wanted to say it that way. Bladed Fury. I Saw Black Clouds. Narita Boy. These are all PS4 or Xbox One games. Narita Boy is also launching into Xbox Game Pass. That's one of the games launching this week. Undermine making its way over to PlayStation.
That's a fun game.
Yeah, but it's a roguelike, so fuck off.
Yeah, you don't like it, I know.
Nope. A Hat in Time, Nyakuza Metro, and Seal the Deal, which are DLCs. Also, that game is getting a 60 FPS patch for the new consoles.
What, Hat in Time?
Yeah.
Cool.
Out Buddies DX. Don't know what that is, but okay. And was that the same? Yeah. Okay. I was like, I thought that was the same list. I'm like, I clicked the new list. Xbox is getting Escape from Life Inc. Whatever that is. Don't know what that is. Now the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch getting Gallic Wars Battle Simulator. Game of Life 2. After Pulse. Balloon Girl. Ty the Tasmanian Tiger 2 Bush Rescue. Drive By, not B-Y, B-U-Y, Drive By.
Interesting.
Rainbow Corns. Boy, that's a combination of words I never thought I'd hear.
They're just making shit up nowadays.
Yeah, pretty much. Squad Killer. Stormtail. A Long Way Down. Dungeons and Puzzles.
A long way down, huh?
Long way down. I don't think I make it on my own. Sorry, that's what I think of every time I hear Long Way Down. More Hoon Cart 2. Train Station Simulator. And What Comes After. And then
What comes after?
What comes after? C14 Dating. And then, I actually think I might pick this up on Switch this week. But Stick Fight, the game, is coming to Switch this week.
Stick Fight?
If you've never seen that game, go look up videos of it on YouTube. It is... It looks rad. And I've always wanted to play it, but it's always been on PC, and I don't really play stuff on PC. But obviously don't get it if you ain't got anybody to play with locally. That's kind of where it...
Oh, is that what it is? Oh,
yeah,
well, that's me.
it's like a 1v1 game. That's like, it's got fucking snake rocket launchers. I'm sorry, but that's just rad. All right. News. We're going to talk about news. There was lots of news. Oh. Do you know that it's been 100 days?
Since
Since
Cyberpunk 2077 was removed from the PlayStation Store.
has it gone back?
No.
No. 100 times. I thought that was a news
100
story.
days since that game was removed from the PlayStation Store, and when asked, neither Sony nor CD Projekt Red would comment other than, we're trying to get it back as soon as we can.
And bearing in mind that the Legend of Black Tiger is still available on the PlayStation Store.
It is.
That is bonkers. That is absolutely bonkers. That's crazy. Crazy.
The free play at home games are up. So you need to log in and collect your 9 free PS4 and PSVR games. Remember, you don't have to have
And what
PlayStation
are they?
Plus. Oh, you want a list? All right, hold on.
Why not?
I will give you a list. We've got Abzu.
I thought the listeners might.
Abzu, Enter the Gungeon, Res Infinite, Subnautica, The Witness, Astrobot Rescue Mission, Moss, Thumper, Paper Beast. And then on April 19th, you will also be able to redeem Horizon Zero Dawn, the complete edition. So there you go.
Cool.
Sticking with the PlayStation news, they're making a movie about Ghosts of Tsushima.
Yep. That was quick.
And it's going to be directed by John Wick's Chad Stahelski. Sorry.
I hope that they give the guy who played Jin in the game the chance.
I mean, everybody in that
act in the movie.
game was an actor, so why not
Yeah.
just get them? Because then, boom, you're done.
Right.
At that
So-
point, you might as well just play the game.
No, because then you got to press a button and get mad because it doesn't respect your honor. Sorry. Hey, it's going to become a weekly theme this week. What game was delayed this week? Well, this week it was Back for Blood, which has now been moved to October 12th. So it still is this year,
At the moment.
currently. All right, we're 6 weeks out. You want to over under? I want to know what you guys think. Resident Evil Village, is it making it out? It's 6 weeks away.
Sure.
You think? Okay. What about Ratchet? Ratchet and Clank, that gonna make it?
When's that?
June.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So what's the next game to be delayed? What's your guess?
I couldn't even tell you what's coming out.
The next game to be delayed.
Yeah. Because we had, what was it? Gollum was last week, got moved. Gotham Knights got moved to 2022. Back for Blood has been delayed. What's the next game leaving 2021?
I don't know. That's a good question.
It's gonna
It's
happen.
difficult. I think as you say, it's a weekly occurrence. I think every week we're going to find another game get pushed back either to later this year or next. But I think if Resident Evil was going to push it, they would have done that by now. I think Capcom respects both the franchise and the franchise's fans enough to give them fair warning. Again with Ratchet, I think I really think Insomniac would have come out by now if it wasn't going to hit June, because we are in that window where it's 3 months away kind of thing, or less than. But you are going to, every week there's going to be a delay of some sort. But who knows? It's crazy times.
Yeah.
Maybe Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk's still not out.
Nope.
Yeah.
You know what game should have been delayed out of 2021? Balan Wonderworld.
You know what else? Other games should have been delayed out of 2021? Cyberpunk.
It kind of is. You can't buy it on the PlayStation, so there is that. Oh shit! I put this out on Twitter, but I don't. It feels like Cyberpunk didn't actually come out.
I know. I refuse to play it until the next gen patch launches. So I'm like just sitting on it.
Yeah.
It's just sitting on my shelf here,
Yeah,
not getting played.
It's been on my hard drive, and every now and then I'll boot it up, and I'm like, I'm not playing this now.
Oh, I took that shit off my hard drive.
Yeah.
I was I'm not gonna waste space on this thing when space is at a premium, and I know I'm not even gonna play it until this patch comes out. So
I don't
it's
think
just
that
really
patch
sad
hits
because
this year.
I was so looking forward to that game.
Yeah, I don't think that patch hits this year.
They keep saying that it's in the fall, but
I think
I
it
don't
gets
know,
pushed.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not. I don't know about that.
And I think we'll see another massive marketing push when it is ready.
They'll call it
I mean-
Cyberpunk 2.0.
Yeah, they'll do something. They'll do something. They'll push it again because, I mean, it's not as if they didn't make their money back on the original, but they will. I think they'll make a big deal of.
Well, they'll have
reminding
to because
people.
it'll be getting added back to stores.
Yeah.
Well, there's only one
PlayStation.
that's been removed from.
Right.
It's a crazy time, man.
Yep.
It makes you feel better about that Halo delay at this point.
Yeah.
Because imagine
Uh-oh.
if that game would have came out in November like it was supposed to.
And
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that game. Yeah.
That's another game that I have absolutely no hype for.
That might be a good thing, though.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I'm sure it will be a good thing.
Because then it can't
I've given up
possibly
expecting,
disappoint, right?
Yeah, I've given up expecting to not be disappointed by Halo games.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks too because like there's only been one bad one. Like Halo 4 wasn't bad,
No.
but Halo 5 single player was pretty bad.
It was awful. Yes.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad video game.
Yep.
Oh, speaking of Xbox, we talked about it last week, but it happened. Xbox Live is no more.
Nope.
It is now called the Xbox Network.
Oh, you're copying off Sony.
So what do you call it? XBN? Is it XBN?
Yeah,
I
XBN.
thought-
Yeah.
I'm a little confused because I'm sure I heard that it was the Xbox Live is still that's going to be called the service that you get when you pay for Xbox Live, but the network is going to be the overriding name for it all.
No.
I've heard
I
other
have
things
no
as
idea.
well, so I don't know.
So I will read you. It says Xbox Live has been renamed as Xbox Network, with Microsoft adding that the name change is to, quote, intended to distinguish the underlying service from Xbox Live Gold memberships. So Xbox Live is no
Wait.
longer what it's called.
Yeah, fair enough.
Y'all remember Xbox Live Silver?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that was a thing. Also, it kind of makes sense because it makes you feel like maybe, you know, what we talked about earlier is happening because they're getting rid of the paywall to play free-to-play games. They're changing the name. I think they're trying to get rid of Xbox Live and just make it Game Pass Ultimate over the Xbox Network. I think
Yep.
that's the end game at some point. Keeping with the Microsoft theme.
So then the question becomes: will you still need to have Game Pass connected to the Xbox Network to play games online?
I don't know.
Do you think?
I think if they want to get rid of the paywall, which I know they do because they don't want necessarily people paying to play online, but they want those people in Game Pass. So until they can make that make sense from a business perspective, I don't think Gold is going away or whatever they fucking call it. Because it wouldn't be Xbox Live Gold anymore; it would be Xbox Network Gold.
Gold? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe they should just call it Xbox Network Plus and just copy Sony entirely.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll get no stick for that.
that would be great.
Yeah, just do it because you know the fanboys would lose their fucking minds. Well, not to throw another monkey wrench into the Xbox Network. I'm not going to get used to calling it Xbox Network, by the way, for a very long time. Microsoft is reportedly in talks to purchase Discord for more than $10 billion.
Yep.
And then just push all of the push all of the users away to another service.
Yep.
So
It's also worth bearing in mind that's more than they pay for Bethesda.
yeah,
First order of business is they're going to kill Craig.
you should kill Craig.
They're just going to shoot him in the head.
Good,
Yeah.
because he's a bastard.
I
I don't know.
Everybody hates Craig.
I mean, it's a weird
can't
thing.
imagine. I just can't see how. How does Discord make money? Oh, they have the Nitro thing, don't they? I guess, which do many people actually use?
I mean, clearly they do.
Just seems like a lot of money.
It does seem like a lot of money, but I think I saw a good tweet about this over the week. It's like, yeah, they paid, this is more than Bethesda. And I saw somebody say that it's harder to create a successful gaming community than it is to create a video game. And I guess if you buy Discord, you're buying a huge, very successful gaming community.
But people don't take well to that sort of stuff, do they?
People don't take well to
big buyouts.
anything. Most of the people that use Discord won't even know that it got bought. To be fair.
Until it comes pre-installed with Windows 10 and you have to log in with your Microsoft account.
I mean, you got to do that anyway when you log into Windows, John.
Well, I'm talking about as a service, like when you're logging in on the app on your phone and when you're logging in on your Mac and everything, you have to log in with a Windows account instead of a Discord account.
I mean, if you bitch about that, I got some oceanfront property in Arizona I want to sell you.
I'm just saying that's when people will realise that it's Microsoft.
Who gives a shit? Most people ain't going to care when they log into it.
People will. It's one of those things I feel, as I don't give two shits, but I think it's one of those things that some people will, and that will, not everyone obviously, but there'll be a large exodus of people trying to find an alternative when that happens.
Boy, people, it's the perfect example of what, my dad used to tell me. He's like, you work harder out of getting out of work than you do just doing the fucking work. If fucking Discord works, just use it. Who gives a shit who owns it? If you're so angry because Microsoft owns something, what the fuck? Are you sitting in your room running fucking Linux? Who gives a Jesus Christ, people are stupid. I'm sorry, but people are fucking stupid.
I'm not going to disagree.
I can't deal with this shit. Drives me up a fucking wall, man. Alright, trying to see here. Yeah, the Microsoft had a very large indie game showcase on Friday. And by very large, I mean that motherfucker ran for over 3 hours.
Crazy.
I love watching those kind of things, but even I turned it off after an hour and a half. I was like, this is just too fucking long. They did announce a bunch of new games, with 20 plus games going directly into Game Pass, which is pretty cool. The list is Art of Rally, Astria Ascending, which was a new announced game, which contained developers from Final Fantasy and what else? I don't remember, but it was almost looked like a Vanillaware 2D RPG. Backbone, Boyfriend Dungeon, Craftopia, which looked like Breath of the Wild Minecraft. That game That game looks like it's going to be the next fucking kids love this game.
Roblox.
Dead Static Drive, Edge of Eternity, Hello Neighbor 2, which is huge with children. Children love that game.
Is it really?
Oh, absolutely, dude.
Oh.
Library of Ruina, Little Witch in the Woods, Moonglow Bay, Narita Boy, Omno, Recompile, Sable, She Dreams Elsewhere, Stalker 2, The Ascent, The Wild at Heart, Undungeon, and Way of the Woods. Those are all coming to Game Pass at launch.
Cool.
They also announced that you could continue the promotion of Ultimate for $1.
Oh, nice.
And then what started the console war this week, or fanned the flames, was that PlayStation announced that PlayStation Now, if you are not a subscriber, you can subscribe to your first month for $1.
Nice.
Which sounds vaguely
Why
familiar.
does that upset people?
Because did you not? Okay, so I'm gonna back this up for a minute. So there was a trend going around this week of Sony PlayStation fanboys tweeting, "Please do not subscribe to Game Pass because it is ruining the industry."
Oh.
And then Sony comes out and announces that PlayStation Now is $1 for the first month, which is exactly what Game Pass does.
Whoopsie.
So
That's really great.
yeah,
That is funny.
that was the fight that was spawned on the internet, and it's just I just shake my head of people saying
That would have been great to actually see. That would have been great. Oh, eat crow, brilliant. That is
Yeah.
just so good.
Which makes it look even dumber that you sit out there and fight over these fucking plastic boxes. Like, I'm gonna be real honest with you, and I know nobody on the show is gonna disagree with me. There is no reason to buy a PS5 or a Series X right now.
Nope.
None. Zero. Zip. So,
Yep, no, completely great.
I mean, once you have one, you can't go back because that loading time is ridiculous.
Yep.
But if
That
you,
is- I mean, that's the only. That's the big reason. It's actually the improved loading times, but it ain't enough of a reason.
no, because there's not a game. There's not enough games. Like I blasted through Spider-Man, which you can play on the PS4. On the Xbox, fucking Gears. The Medium, like neither one of those games are like, oh my god, I gotta play this now.
Yeah.
Like, you can wait, man. It's okay. You don't need either one of these, and you sure as shit don't need to be fighting over which one's better. Because it don't matter.
It don't matter.
None of this matters.
Doesn't matter.
Excuse me. Now I'm going to go back to PlayStation Now, because this is why PlayStation Now is not as good as Game Pass. People always argue that. So, I played Parappa the Rapper this weekend, and I was like, man, I miss that fucking stupid Sony, like, early days shit where they were making some weird fucking games. And then I remembered that Sony made a PlayStation All-Stars, Smash Brothers ripoff. And I was like, man, I want to play that. I bet you that's on PlayStation Now because it's a first-party game, right?
Nope.
It's not.
That's the biggest drawback is that they're like Spider-Man and God of War, first party games, they come to the service and then they go from the service. To me, that's ridiculous. That's not a competitor to Game Pass.
How do you have a 10-plus-year-old game not on that service? First party game.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Like, how is that not there? I was like, I want to use Big Daddy and whoop him up with Parappa, but I can't do that.
Oh, I forgot Big Daddy was one of the characters in that. Yeah,
Yeah, and the not Dante, the other Dante.
they're not Dante.
It wasn't white-haired Dante, it was the Dante from
No,
the
it's-
Ninja Theory version.
Oh, was it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, that's another reason people are pissed. Like, it wasn't true Weeboo Dante. Anyway, I wanted to play that game, and I was unable to play that game because I sure as shit ain't loading up PlayStation 3. Not that I could download the game anymore anyway, because PlayStation is shutting that store down.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are.
Which is inevitable.
It's fucking depressing.
But that is the world we live in now, and
No.
we're now starting to see that. We're now starting to see, like, people have said this for a long time, that this was always going to be a problem, and because of the age of those consoles, we're now starting to see it come to fruition, and it's a shame.
Well, it's not the reality of the entire world because the iTunes store is always going to be the iTunes store. It's always been the iTunes store. The Xbox store has always been.
That's
But
that's different. I'm talking about games specifically.
well,
especially when
Xbox
it's
Live is
associated
going to
with a
be
platform-
Xbox is. I'm
with a
sorry.
platform.
Xbox Network is the same store across all the systems, at least now.
It is. Yes, no, absolutely. But there are things that aren't.
Because
Such-
Sony believes in generations, John, and nobody wants to play those shitty ass PS2 games. Jim Ryan told me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jim
But they
told
also,
me.
you think about the fact that they've also shut down or shutting down the movie side, so you can't buy films like the digital storefront for films. That's going on even on the PlayStation 4 and 5. Obviously, people have bought films on there. You could potentially lose those because they won't be downloadable after a certain point.
Yeah.
That story's going.
I'm gonna be real honest with you, and I know I don't share the sentiment of a lot of people out there in this world. If you start removing piecemeal things here and there and everywhere, there's so much other shit that I ain't got time to watch that I'm probably not gonna notice. If you take away my license to watch Talladega Nights on Vudu at some point, I
You're gonna know.
probably won't notice it. I'll bitch
Probably
about it.
not.
I'll make a tweet about it, and I'm angry that I can't watch, but then I'll probably be like, oh, it's like I'll get distracted by something else, like, oh, look at this over here.
Again, I guess the fact that they're shutting it down means that not many people actually use that service, so there won't be a huge amount of people hopefully out of pocket too much. But unlike iTunes, I mean, if iTunes suddenly shut down, I've got about 200 films on that thing. But that's unlikely. But it's not impossible.
Sure. I'm sure by the time they take away all of my digital licenses, I'll be dead.
Hopefully so.
Oh, well,
Not
thanks,
hopefully
John.
you'll be dead, but I mean, hopefully it'll be after you die.
John's over here like, hopefully you'll be dead.
Yeah, hopefully you'll die soon.
Hey, if America keeps treating COVID the way it's treating it, maybe I will be. Who knows?
Yeah, well,
Yeah. Forefront of medical technology and breakthroughs, you lot.
And yet here we are eating.
So far advanced, you don't even wear masks anymore.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point?
oh yeah, who needs a mask?
Yeah.
It doesn't help anything.
Oh, Batman.
I mean, Batman don't need a mask.
Did you see the Suicide Squad trailer? That looks very
Of course I saw the Suicide Squad trailer. Come on.
Yeah, it does look good.
It looks very, and I think the standout character is going to be the
King Shark.
shark. Yeah,
I mean, it's
Yeah.
Sylvester
He looks too
Stallone.
is that Stallone?
Yeah, that's Stallone.
Shit. Brilliant.
There's a
Yeah, I think it's going to be the standout character.
professional wrestler playing him in the game.
Do
Samoa-
you know who
Sam-
plays him in?
Samoa Joe is the wrestler who voices him in the game.
You know who voices him on Harley Quinn?
Huh.
Ron Funches.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious.
I can't imagine a big dude having his voice. I
Oh,
think that's probably why it's
that's what makes it so good.
Mm. Still, I saw that trailer and I thought, oh, this actually might be a good Suicide Squad film. It's James Gunn, so he's got a very good sense of humor.
Yeah, and I get to watch it for free, unlike Disney, who's wanting me to pay $30 to watch Black Widow.
Yeah. No, I'll get that somewhere else. I'm not paying as much
I'll
as I
just
love
wait.
Marvel. I ain't paying 30. I think that's ridiculous.
I'll just wait. I'll wait till it's streaming for free
Yeah,
on
that'll be
Disney
about free.
Plus.
And they'll be on there. Like if it's anything like Mulan, it'll be locked to that thing for like 3 months, and then it'll be available to everyone. So
I'm okay with that. The Marvel spoilers don't bother me. Like I'll watch Winter Soldier probably when it's getting close to being done. Same way I did with WandaVision.
it's very good.
Oh, I'm
It's
sure
very
it
good.
is, but like
Mm.
the thing that and I'm not trying to be offensive to Marvel fans. I'm not. But the Marvel like Twitter when they get excited about these things, like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened. When I watch it, I'm like, that's what you couldn't believe happened.
Yeah, again, that's all marketing, isn't it? It's all PR.
Yeah, but it's people
They
who
do-
are just fans that say that.
Yeah.
Like, I see them tweet, they're like, oh, this week's episode, OMG, can't believe they went there. And then I watched it, I was like, where'd they go? Did I miss something that, like, and it's not that I don't understand, like, it's not that I don't understand what they're referencing, but their reactions to it are so, like, hyperbolic that
yeah.
I'm just like, I can't. Y'all need to chill. Like, I love the way the Snyder Cut ended, like, as far as a comic book fan goes, like, that, the way they changed how it ended. But I didn't get on Twitter and be like, OMG, did you know what happened? Oh my god. I was just like, that was cool. That was, like, from the comic, you know? I don't know. Whatever. Marvel fans are very hyperbolic on Twitter, and I can't. Like, they were going
Most
nuts about
fans of
episode.
something are.
Well, they were going nuts about something in episode 2 of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I was like, man, I bet that's nothing.
It,
I'm not. No.
To be fair, it is. If you are an absolute die-hard fan of Captain America comics, and I mean die-hard, that's something. For the average Joe who likes Marvel Cinematic Universe and things like that, like me, it's cool and it's intriguing. It's not going to blow my mind.
I don't know. I think a lot of people that tweet OMG, can't believe they went there, went and Googled who that character was while they were watching the episode. Just throwing that out there.
Probably. And
Anyway.
then, again, I am thoroughly enjoying the show so far.
I'm sure it's great. WandaVision was great.
It is, absolutely. WandaVision was brilliant, but it's very different, which is I like. It's very different from it, and it is more in line with what you would expect from a Marvel movie, maybe. Just a little bit more talking, and obviously the plot is going to be spread out over the 8 or 9 episodes, but it's still the production values, the action scenes, fantastic, and it is again very intriguing story that they're opening up. But again, but yeah, you're right. They need to calm down a little bit. It's entertainment and it's fun, but you're making it more than it is.
I just finished my rewatch of The Sopranos last night, and I really
How many
wish.
episodes are there?
What's that?
How many episodes of that are there?
Oh, was there 86? I think total.
Cool.
Six,
That's actually not many considering.
Yeah, it was 6 seasons. But it makes me wish that Twitter like had been in its prime or exists the way it does today, the way the last episode ends.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen that reaction on Twitter.
Oh man, yeah. People would have been losing their minds.
Yeah. The way it ends is so perfect with the door opening and the music playing, and you're just like, what?
And then nothing.
Nothing. Like, it's black screen. It's literally a black screen for like 6 seconds, and then the credits.
Yep.
And you're just like, what? So what happened?
You're supposed to fill that in with your own mind.
Yeah, like, have some
People can't
imagination.
do that because they can't think for themselves.
That's one way to get around the fact that no long-running show ever ends well, ever.
Yeah.
Don't end it.
You just don't end it. You just make people make up their own ending in their own mind.
Yeah, because if you
You're
end
never
it,
going to please everyone.
if you end it, then people are just going to be mad about how it. Like, look at Lost. People were pissed.
Yeah, same with Game of Thrones. People were absolutely pissed about that. But it's
Well, to be fair, with Game of Thrones, it wasn't just the last episode. It was that entire last season that was like so rushed and messy.
Yeah. I still haven't seen it, by the way.
No,
You
neither have
haven't
I.
seen the
I'm
last
still-
season?
No, I stopped at the next to the
It's-
last season, and I never finished
It
it.
is absolutely, the last season is absolutely the most rushed, mess up joke of a season. It's almost, they do everything they can, but come out of the screen and tell you, hey, the showrunners really want to get on with this Star Wars thing, so we're just going to push through this.
I'm going to be real honest with you, that next to the last season, I lost a lot of interest in that show.
Yeah, well, we won't gain it back in the last one.
It's probably
I mean,
why
there's
I've
a
never
couple
watched
good
it.
episodes with a lot of tension, but they just completely, I don't know. They rush everything.
They fluff it. They stuck the land. They didn't stick the landing.
No.
It's so disappointing because like TV shows are like the hardest thing to end.
Well, again, it's because you've got so many different people with so many different ideas of how they want something to end. You can't please everyone. It's impossible.
Yeah. I mean, nobody's going to be happy when a TV show. I've never heard people happy with a TV show ending outside of Supernatural. Like, I didn't hear anybody pissed about that.
Is that actually ended now?
Yeah, it's over.
Oh, for fucking thank God. How many? 25 seasons or something?
15.
It's like Simpsons.
Simpsons just did their 1,000th episode. We talked about that
Yeah, we
last
talked
week.
about that last week, yeah.
1,000
That's crazy.
episodes. 1,000, man. But then you stop and think Stewie's 22 years old now. Did you know that?
Oh, bloody hell.
22.
They need to make a one-off about that.
They did
where
make
they
a
are
Stewie
now.
movie.
Sorry?
It was a 3-episode. It was a movie.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Hey, Godzilla vs. Kong this week. Who you got?
Oh, is that on streaming, is it?
Yeah, HBO Max on.
I'm kind of pissed about it because it's the trailers that I've seen, and I didn't mind. I didn't mind Godzilla. I liked Skull Island, and I didn't mind the King of Monsters one. I thought that was a bit, but it was alright. But everything that I've seen of this, it's like my biggest problem is they've got the sizes wrong because based on the movies, Godzilla should be about 4 times bigger than Kong, but they're not.
Well,
They're the same size.
I thought
Well,
I
they
heard
explained
they addressed that in the movie.
Yeah, they addressed that in
Yeah.
the movie.
How?
Well,
Why
you got to
shouldn't
see the fucking movie, John. It ain't out yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it. I just heard somebody specifically say they addressed the size difference in the movie.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be interesting, but I will give it a watch because again,
Because HBO's
I mean-
not charging me $30 to watch it on top of my subscription.
well, I don't. It won't be a case of that. Is that I'll have to pirate it because we don't have HBO. But yes, I will watch that because I enjoyed enough of the last lot. I still think that they could have done better, especially trying to make some sort of like this monarch universe around this company and these these monsters, these kaijus and things like that. But I still think they were enjoyable. And again, I really liked Skull Island, especially Samuel L. Jackson in that. He was one mean motherfucker.
Skull
I didn't
Island
see
is
Skull Island.
Skull Island is probably my favorite of those new 3.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite. I think, in all honesty, I think Tom Hiddleston's miscast. But he's still good in it. He's still because he's a good actor. But Samuel L. Jackson steals that film.
It's a yeah, by far that's my favorite. I thought the first Godzilla was a little plodding.
It felt more like it.
It felt like Bryan Cranston presents Godzilla.
Yeah, well, it felt to me like it was trying to be a serious film.
Yeah,
And
and it's fucking
like-
Godzilla.
and-
Come on.
It's Godzilla. You don't need it to be a serious film. What you want is a big ass monster fighting other big ass monsters. That's all you need. And I think they figured that out. It just took them a bit too long. And then with the King of Monsters, you did have that, and they didn't shy away from showing it, which they did in the original Godzilla. You didn't see. I don't think you saw him in full till about an hour and a bit in. But it's like they still tried to make it this sentimental, like the human side of it. I don't want to see the human side. I want to see 2 massive creatures knocking 7 shades of shit out of each other. Give me that, and that's hopefully what they'll do with this.
That's what I think this one's going to be. King of the Monsters was a lot of that. Like they had a lot of fighting in that movie.
They did, but it was interspersed with like the sentimental, crappy, like trying to be twisty story. And I don't really. You just need a coherent story to get to each part of each monster fight. My biggest, the problem that I have with what this could be is that both Godzilla and King Kong are the good guys. So you know exactly what's going to happen at the end of that film, just like you did with Batman versus Superman. You know exactly what's going to happen. And
So basically,
will tell-
Kong is going to say Martha, and everything will be okay. Martha.
Yeah. But they're going to team up and they're
you
going to
say
be
that
a bigger foe. That's exactly what's going to happen. And that's a bit done, if you ask me. So, but we'll see. It's out this week. I'll watch it this week.
God damn it! Oh yeah, I'm actually watching it this week, and then in 2 weeks, Mortal Kombat. Yay!
Oh, I am looking
Oh,
forward
yeah.
to that.
Yep.
Yeah,
I will have to subscribe to HBO Max just for that.
I will tell you this right now. HBO Max is killing it this year with that Suicide Squad, Dune, Godzilla. I mean, and they don't charge you to watch those. Like I've watched every one that's
the big
dropped
thing.
so far. Like I even watched Tom and Jerry, which it wasn't bad.
I've heard it's a bit meh, but it's a kids' film in it.
Yeah,
so what do you want, you know?
it was a solid 2 hours that I didn't have to go to a theater, and I got to see a brand new movie. You know, like that is
I
perfect.
think,
And
I'm kind of gutted that we don't have that over here because at the moment I feel that Disney Plus is especially in the UK, as I mentioned last week or the week before, we have the Hulu part added to it, the stars, they call it stars on over here, but they it gives. I mean, that library is massive now. You know, that's even with just the Disney stuff. I felt the asking price of $5.99 a month was pretty damn good. Coupled with all of the Fox stuff that you're now getting, that's an incredible value. Bearing in mind that that's half of what Netflix are charging now because their prices have gone up over the last few years. Prime has never been very good.
yeah, but you
HBO
don't pay for the Prime streaming. You pay for the shipping.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
That's what gets away with it. But with HBO, as you say, you're getting all of these films that Warner have now committed to saying any release that we were going to have this year in the cinema is coming to HBO Max. It's at no extra charge. That's a good deal. That's a good thing.
Yeah. How much is HBO Max?
It's $14.99.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's worth it. Like you'd be shocked how many movies are on there. Like it's got all the DC stuff, which is nice. It's got all of the Ghibli stuff, which is cool. It's got all of South Park. It's got all of Adult Swim.
Should have should have all of Warner stuff, does it? Or just
Everything that doesn't have a license somewhere else. You know how licensing
Somewhere
was
else,
working
yeah.
before they had that, so
yeah.
but just the amount of stuff that they add every week is kind of bonkers. And then you get all the HBO shows, man. You get Sopranos and Oz and Sex and the City and like everything they've ever done is there. So like it's literally become my favorite thing to stream on. Like I'll just go in and look through the movies. Like I watched Speed last week. Just because why the
How
fuck
did
not?
you get Speed on HBO? That's a Fox film.
Well, but it's an HBO premiere. So
Oh, how strange.
yeah, all of the diehards are on there. All of the Nightmare on Elm
we've
Streets
got,
are
like-
on there.
We've got the diehards are on the Disney one over here because they're Fox.
Yeah, well, they're on HBO Max
That's
here.
weird. That's licensing for you, isn't it?
Yeah,
As you say,
it's
all a bit weird.
it is crazy how much is on HBO Max. Like there is so much stuff to watch. So I don't know. I've enjoyed it. I've literally that's the thing that I use the most to watch and stream now. So all right.
Yeah, I mean, it would be worth $15 for me just to watch the Mortal Kombat movie, even if I decide to cancel it afterwards because I don't get a chance to watch much.
Yep.
Anymore.
Yeah, it seems like every month they're putting up a new theater movie, and like even if you're only remotely interested, it's just like a free watch. You know, all it takes is you 2 hours of your time. So it's been nice. I like that, and that's why I said when they announced, Black Widow was $30 to watch on top of my Disney Plus streaming price, I was like,
That's crazy.
wait.
Yeah, I think that's Disney, isn't it? They got to pay for all of that Marvel and Star Wars acquisition money somehow.
But they already paid for it.
I know, I'm joking. I was being facetious. They can afford it.
Oh, they can absolutely, especially since they're now making an extra $100 million a month because they upped the price.
Yeah, I got in. I got in before I renewed before that happened. So I've got my year pass at the same price as it was last year. But next year it will go up. And
Mine went
again,
up. I got an email the
it-
other day.
it's still frustrating because so prices are only ever going to go up, and they will go up regularly. And as I say, when Netflix started in the UK, it was like $4.99, and now it's $14.99. Again, I'm not begrudging. There's certainly lots of entertainment there. You get your money's worth, but it then becomes more difficult when you've got streaming service on top of streaming service. Going from £5 or £6 a month to going per service to going £15 a month per service. You have to break somewhere. You're gonna have to get rid of a service or two, and that's a frustrating thing.
Yep. I am subscribed to almost every one of them, and every month I'm like, man, I really need to cancel one. And the only one I want to cancel is Amazon, but I don't want to cancel the shipping.
It's a Prime, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't want to cancel it. I was like, I don't ever watch it because it sucks.
Yeah, Prime. I mean, Prime Video is pretty bad. It's good if you want to find bad movies because it has a whole host of those 50p production kind of horror or sci-fi shit, really bad stuff. And occasionally they'll get something cool. But even like their series, I watched like the first season and a half of The Boys, which started off really good, but then by halfway through season 2. None of the characters are likable, not even the good guys. And it's like, I can't really it's like, I'm not rooting for anybody. And to me, you have to have a protagonist you can root for. And I just didn't. So it's like, I get that it's a big production, but it's just not doing it for me. It's not, I mean, the quality just isn't there, I don't think.
I fell off of The Boys. Like, I watched the whole first season. I watched the first episode of the second season. I'm like, I'm just not feeling this anymore.
Yeah. Again, I got to probably about halfway through, and I just felt that even the characters you're meant to be rooting for were just devoid of any likeness. There was nothing there that I felt I didn't feel any emotion for them, and I'm thinking, well, do I really want to continue? And I just haven't. I just sort of dropped off of it. So it's a shame because it is a cool concept, but it's not one it's been able to hold me.
I do like the documentaries on Amazon. There's been a couple good ones. I watched the Ted DiBiase one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was a good one. I also watched the guy that collected all of the NES library in 30 days.
Oh, shit. I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah, it's this guy that he goes on a road trip, and the goal is to collect every NES game without any help from the internet in 30 days.
So
Wow.
cool.
Yeah, that was a cool documentary. I liked watching that.
What's
it called?
Do you know?
Fuck, what was it called? I don't
Fuck
remember
you,
the name
Jesus.
of it, but it was good. Shit.
How am I going to find it?
Search on Amazon for NES. Oh, I don't know.
No, I can't see anything on here.
I got
Oh, hang on.
the
Oh
quest
no!
to
Was it a one-part piece documentary or like a?
Yeah, it's
No.
just one movie.
There's one called Game Squad's NES Pursuit, but that's the only thing. That's like a series.
It's called Nintendo Quest.
Nintendo Quest. Okay, let's see.
Yep.
I guarantee it's not on the UK version.
Yep, that's the one I watched. I'm looking at an article about it now. Yeah, it's called Nintendo Quest.
Okay.
Yep, that's been the best stuff I found on Amazon is like the document. I think the Jake the Snake documentary's on there now. I watched that on Netflix, but I think it's on Amazon now, and that one's really good. I think Beyond the Mat is on Amazon Prime too.
Nice. That's a great documentary.
Yeah, HBO does have the Andre the Giant one though, which might be the best one I've seen.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, I'm gonna head over to the Twitter. Mookie says, "Let me break the tie here. I don't like Will Ferrell, so I got to side with John and Anthony here.
Good boy.
I think Will Ferrell is the love or hate kind of guy, isn't he?
Yep.
I think you're probably about right. As I say, there's only 2 films that I like with him in, and they aren't comedies, straight out and out comedies. So I don't like him as a comedian. He's as an actor, I think he's actually quite good when you see him in like uh, Stranger Than Fiction and the other one, Everything Must Go, where he's actually acting. I think he's really good, but as a comedy, I don't like his humor. Is all.
Keeping with the Will Ferrell, Siggy says Ken was spot on about Talladega Nights being a PS3 launch title. So many people bought it. That is literally the game, or I'm sorry, the movie that I remember like coming with every PS3. It's Talladega
Well,
Nights.
that's in the UK, it was Casino Royale.
I mean, they're both good movies.
Oh yeah, Casino Royale's a hell of a good movie. But yeah, it was because I got. I remember when I got my launch PS3, you had to just go online and fill in a form with whatever your model number, and they'd send you a copy of Casino Royale. And for some reason, they sent me two. I can remember that, and I sold one to my mate.
I still remember owning King Kong on HD DVD.
HD DVD, yeah, that was a thing once, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Wow.
that was a thing.
God.
Yeah.
Collector's items now, I should imagine.
I mean, all discs are going to be collector's items soon because we ain't going to have them no more.
Good point.
It's like CDs, man. Anybody remember CDs?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
I've still
have
got some.
so many.
I've still got some.
I've got a ton down in the basement.
Oh yeah, John?
Well, I ain't got many. I've got about 7 or 8. I haven't got anything to play them on.
CDs
Man, I've got
nuts.
boxes and boxes and boxes of CDs downstairs, man.
CDs nuts.
Wow.
I apologize. All right. Real Shogun Beat says, not trying to start a console war post, but it's very draining to see all the back and forth between these camps. I mean, if you're happy, be happy. And play these every day. Tit for tat articles going old or getting old. PlayStation Now for $1 for the first month, and that's bad now. Examples, Xbox Series S is holding back all next-gen games, but multiple setups for PCs is never a problem. PS5 don't have full RDNA 2, games still look great. Xbox is just Game Pass. So what? I'm playing games. Gamers are strange. We complain about everything. Buy it all. Boy, ain't that the truth. I mean, people are so mad about video games.
Isn't that the headline for the entire world right now?
Yeah, kind of.
People are so mad.
I don't understand why people are mad. I don't understand why anybody's mad about anything. Like, there are a lot of things to be mad about, and video games and movies and music and things like that. That ain't one of them. Like, I think we talked about this last week, but do you know how many people I saw on my Twitter feed that hate watch the Snyder Cut? Like, who has 4 hours to watch something you know you're going to hate just so you can get on Twitter and talk about how much you hate it? I don't have 4 hours to watch a Harry Potter movie just to shit on it.
Well, you should.
I don't. I saw 2 of those movies and I was like, all right, these are awful, and I've never seen another one. And I don't plan on watching another one. So I don't understand why people are so mad. Like, every time a Digital Foundry video comes out, there's like this stream of comments underneath it of just like, oh my god, look, the PlayStation 5 version is running at 60, while the Xbox version runs at 58. I'm like, and? What? Like, oh my god. This one runs at 27 more pixels. And that makes you upset? Explain to me why that upsets you.
Makes me angry.
Or even like what we were
angry about it.
Yeah, or like what we were talking about earlier, where people were tweeting like, please don't subscribe to Game Pass, it's ruining the industry. Like, how? Please, somebody explain it to me. Explain to me how much you know about business from your basement. I see so many armchair analysts that think they know how business works. I'm like, if you knew how business worked, you would be working in that industry. I don't know how movies are made. So, like, if I get online, I'm like, I really feel like the cinematography in this one was poorly done. I don't know. It's exhausting, man. My favorite thing to do is when Wario tweets about a PlayStation being available or an Xbox being available, is going into the comments and blocking everybody who is just a piece of shit. You'd be surprised how clean my Twitter is now.
Oh yeah, sure.
So many things underneath those tweets that just say this is from somebody you have blocked. I don't know, man. I don't know why people are so angry about video games, let alone anything else in this world. I really don't.
They just like to be angry. We know this.
Man, it takes so much effort to be angry. I don't know. Like when people get mad about movies, and I'm just like, I don't know. It was fine. I wouldn't run out there and tell everybody to watch it, but it's not like I was pissed. It's not like when a movie comes up and the credits roll, I'm like, God damn you. You know? Anyway. Mookie says, what if Netflix makes a deal to do an Overwatch series? Would that finally make the long-awaited dream a reality? I mean, I'd watch it. Just so I could get online and tweet Overwatch. Like,
oh, yeah, you'd probably watch it, wouldn't you?
I'd watch it and then just to get on Twitter and complain about how inaccurate it is. About how mad I am.
How offended you are.
Yeah, I'm super offended that you took this thing that I love and made your own vision of it, you son of a bitch. How could you?
You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. I don't know, man. I ain't got the time or the energy. Maybe it's just because I'm old. I ain't got the time or the energy to be mad at things like constantly.
I got the time and energy to be mad at things, but only important things.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, I'm mad when I go to a store and somebody's not wearing a mask right now. You know, I'm not mad when Joker, Batman creates the Joker in the Tim Burton movie because it's not canonical according to this comic book.
It's definitely not canonical.
Boy, I'd have loved if Twitter would have existed when that movie came out too. Holy shit.
Wait, the Joker is the one that killed Batman's parents?
What? What? Tim Burton, you're canceled.
Tim Burton is canceled.
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't he?
Why wouldn't he be?
He did make The Corpse Bride.
He did make The Corpse Bride. That is true.
I remember when we went to see that. That was back when we used to go to every movie.
Yep.
And I remember coming out of that movie going like, boy, that fucking sucked.
Did we ever come out of any of those movies and not say, man, that sucked? We ended up seeing the worst movies.
We did see some really bad movies.
The Fog, the remake of The Fog.
God, that was...
Welling in it. Tom Welling.
Yeah, yes. Superman was in it.
Yeah,
that was
terrible
the
movie.
worst movie.
Which was, I mean, it was made more worse because the original's such a classic, but still, that was very poor.
Yeah, we really did see some real bangers back in the day.
Yep. Yes. The Resident Evil movies.
I still like those, but they're a guilty pleasure for me.
They're
not good movies, Ryan. I'm not saying they're good movies, but I am entertained by them.
Are you not entertained?
Yeah, we saw some shit. Like it's just like, oh, we're going to see a movie. What we going to see? I don't know what the fuck's playing.
I don't know. Whatever's out there.
Yeah, we'll go see that. Then we go see it. We're like walking out there, like, what the fuck did you just make me sit through?
They were all free anyway, so whatever.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, that was so bad. Man,
You remember the times when you used to be able to go to the cinema?
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
real honest with you, John. I didn't go anyway.
I used to love going to the cinema. That was amazing.
You know what the last movie I saw in the theater was? I
Go on.
want to say it was the last Star Wars movie.
Yeah, the last one I saw in the theater was the Addams Family movie. The
What do you
most
mean
recent
last Star
Addams
Wars?
Family movie.
The
Oh,
CGI
animated
one?
Yeah,
Okay,
the one that just came out in 2019.
gotcha.
Well, yeah, to be fair, that probably was like, I mean, they are quite recent. I went this year. Not this year, sorry, last year. Last film I watched was, I think it was a film called Saint Maud, which came out on, like, there was a gap in between the cinemas closing for the first time in the UK and the second time, which they're still closed from. But that was like there there was just, I think, 4 people in the entire cinema, including at the time me and Laura. So it was yeah.
Yeah, I think the last one I saw was because the last Star Wars movie was December of 2019, right? Or 2020?
Probably. I don't remember. No, 2019, I think.
2019.
So
Yeah.
I didn't go see anything in 2020?
Probably not. I don't think most of the theaters were open in 2020.
Well, the last
I
movie
mean, at
that,
the beginning of the year, I
yeah,
guess.
like
but
the last big movie that I remember being in the theater that people went to see was Sonic.
yeah, I did
That was
not get to
February.
see that. My family got to see that, but I did not.
I remember getting
that was
excited
February,
when
yeah.
I remember getting excited when they announced it was coming to like digital super early because of the pandemic, but I didn't go to the theater and see it.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it. So
Oh, it's fucking
Yeah, it was one
great.
of the last big
yeah,
box
I've heard
office
it was.
successes before
I heard it was great.
COVID hit.
Which
It's
is
a great movie.
it's
yeah.
on Hulu and Amazon Prime if you want to watch it.
Yeah, I know. We keep talking about watching it as a family, and then we never get around to it.
Me and my son
It's
watched
definitely
it,
worth it for
and
Jim Carrey,
he
because
loved
Jim
it.
Carrey really, really hams it up in a great way.
Oh, Ben Schwartz is amazing as Sonic.
Yeah, and that voice is pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good flick. I need a new TV show to watch now that I finished The Sopranos.
I'm sure you can find something.
Yeah, I only have
Nope.
40 streaming services. I'll be all right.
Exactly.
So my wife has started, and John, I'm sure will know this. My wife has started watching an English show called Miranda.
Oh, such fun.
Yeah, that she has asked me to watch the first couple episodes of, and it's very funny.
It's a very typically British comedy. And she's actually a comedian, so she does stand-up comedy. The Miranda Hart who's in it, but yes, it is that kind of typical British situational comedy where you'll see it happen on quite a few standout shows where the whole premise is set around things going wrong. It's like it's good, and she is quite funny. But yeah, that such fun was a catchphrase in the UK for a while.
Mm. Yeah, it's so there's an American version of that show now,
No,
starring Mayim Bialik, yeah, from Big Bang Theory,
it's probably terrible.
called Call Me Kat, and it has not done very well. But based on that show, my wife got into this other show, and I think it's pretty funny. The first couple episodes we watched.
I mean,
I've found that most comedies that did well in the UK and then tried to statify them, like Red Dwarf and Spaced and things like that, do not ever go off very well.
I mean, it's,
Yeah, other than The Office.
it's Mayim Bialik. though.
I think The Office is different because they were smart enough not to try and word for word copy it. I think Ricky Gervais and the showrunners was clever enough to realise that what makes British people laugh is different to what makes American people laugh. And they now that's where a lot of these mistakes happen, is that they try and copy word for word thinking
Yeah.
that the Americans will laugh in the same way, and they won't, because we're two different nations. That's where I think The Office was successful, is because they took themes of the original British show, but the humour was very different.
Yeah.
I've never seen The Office.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Neither version. It's my shame to fame right there. Never seen The Office.
To be fair, I've seen the British version. I've watched the odd episode of the American one, but I've not watched it like in any real form.
It's crazy how that works, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's certain things you just don't see. Like, took me, 7 years to see Step Brothers?
Well, again, I'm not one to talk because I haven't seen a Marvel movie since the first Thor. So
Yeah, that's a long time.
yeah,
Even I've seen them all, and I'm not even a big Marvel guy.
yeah, I'm a huge Marvel guy and haven't watched them.
Yeah. There's so many of them.
Yeah,
Like, it's overwhelming. Like, sometimes I'll think, hey, I want to go back and rewatch all these, and then I'll get about halfway through Captain America: The First Avenger, and I'm like, I'm good. I don't think I want to watch these again.
No, I quite happily will watch them all again. I just enjoy them. But
I mean,
you know,
they're
each
good
their own.
movies. It's just, it's hard to watch them. Like, there are certain ones that I love more than other ones, and like, it's hard for me to watch those because I'm like, it's assuming so much that I've probably forgotten.
Well, it is. I mean, going through them timeline wise, which I've just done, is a little bit interesting because obviously it's not timeline isn't release time, so they're not. It's not in the same order they released in, but it doesn't confuse things too much. But it's again, I like ones more than others. And some are harder to get through. Like Captain Marvel's not fantastic. Neither is the Dark World. Thor 2. And I think Ant-Man and the Wasp was nowhere near as good as the original Ant-Man, but I still enjoy them because they are just popcorn chewing movies, and it's hard not. You can just put them on, and you know what's happened, and you know what's coming up, but you kind of enjoy the spectacle.
Yeah, there's just so many of them.
yeah, there are definitely a lot.
Isn't there like somewhere around? It's getting close to 30, right?
There's 20, 23, 24, I think.
Wow,
Yeah, it's a lot.
a lot of movies, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this break that we've had that's occurred naturally through COVID is actually probably a good thing. It ended at the right time. I mean, it would have sucked had COVID been around earlier, or like Endgame had come out after, or was due to come out after COVID had hit, because that would have been really jarring. But I think that cut off quite well. The end of Phase 3, the start of Phase 4. It will be very interesting to see how this played. They delayed Black Widow by over a year before doing what they've decided to do. Is that going to be the same? Are they going to trying to delay the others, or are they now just going to take this? Now that they're kicking off with Black Widow, are they going to restart the next phase and the next story arc by bringing more of these films to the Disney Plus service, or are they going to hold fire and hope things clear up for next year where they can start releasing them theatrically again?
I'm nervous about Phase 4 because like the only one that I was interested in seeing is Blade, and it's PG-13.
That's a TV show now, isn't it?
No, it's a movie, right?
I thought they were doing it as a TV show.
But it's PG-13.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I don't know. Yeah, there are certain characters I don't think will work so well. I think like Deadpool, they'd never do a Marvel Cinematic version of that just because it doesn't fit in with the way, the tone of that film. And Blade would be, I think, something similar. But they are doing. I know that there's hot rumours that Oscar Isaac's is Moon Knight for the TV show. I know they're doing Ms. Marvel, Moon Knight, She-Hulk. They're all TV shows.
So I know it's not I know it's not actually in the comic books, but I really hope there's a Moon Knight Blade crossover, just so Moon Knight can come down the stairs and ask Dracula for his fucking money, call him a big fucking nerd. Have you guys not seen that fake comic panel?
No, I have not seen that.
Oh, all
That's
right,
funny.
I'll find it.
I mean, that's funny in
my
context, though. But
There's a whole series of fake comic panels of Moon Knight getting mad because Dracula hasn't paid him his money.
wait a minute, wasn't there a Morbius movie coming out?
There
That
is a
was meant
Morbius
to be
movie
November,
coming
yeah,
out,
but that's been pushed, yeah.
Like, I remember that being a thing like a while back, and then it just disappeared.
Yeah, that's meant to have already come out, but that got pushed. That got pushed when in the summer when Venom and all of that got pushed back as well. So that's meant to be this year, but again,
I haven't seen anything about the second Venom either, except that, what is it, Woody Harrelson's playing Carnage or something?
Carnage, yeah.
Which
makes sense.
that's fucking weird.
I don't know. He's at the end of he's in the Sting in the first movie. His wig is terrible in that. He wears his curly wig and he looks absolutely awful. I hope they do something with that for the sequel. But Carnage is a character a lot of people want to see. So, and Woody Harrelson is certainly an actor with enough range anyway, to play a nuts kind of character. So, yeah, that might be interesting. But I don't know what's happening with them. I don't know whether they're going to try and do like they did with Resident Evil and release it digitally first, because Sony are going to only keep it for so long before they decide to do something with it. But the whole point was the Morbius thing was meant to link in with their anti-Marvel universe thing. So along with Venom and obviously Spider-Man, when he does eventually go back to Sony releasing and producing those films. But who knows?
Oh, Marvel fucked up with their licensing. That's all I know, and they're still paying for it.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Eventually they'll buy Sony and they'll buy Universal so they can have Hulk and Spider-Man back at some point.
So does that mean
In the
Disney
future,
will
okay.
have its own video game console then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I doubt that happens because I don't know if you've noticed, but it's very hard for an American company to purchase a Japanese company.
Oh, I think I'm just joking, but I think they've got round the Hulk thing because that's Universal. They got round that by putting Hulk storylines that people did want to see into Thor Ragnarok. So they can't release a film where the main character is the Hulk, but they can have the Hulk as a supplementary character. So I think that's how they're going to get around that. But the Spider-Man thing, I think the last two Spider-Man movies have been the best ones since Spider-Man 2 from Sam Raimi. And I think it will be a shame if because Marvel knows how to treat Spider-Man, Sony don't. And I would love to see that go back. But again, while it makes money, Sony aren't going to give up that license.
I mean, they got their own video game. Spider-Man. That's all we have for the show. Show is over. We are done. No more Twitters. No more fun.
Oh, nice.
Nice. I was wondering where you were going to go with that last one.
I was just making it up as I went
Trying
along.
to keep an eye.
Yeah, you're like a modern Eminem.
Oh, that is it, though. That is it for this week. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at N4G Podcast. You can follow us individually. John is John WK. Ryan is at Wombat RP. I am at ZTGD. You can follow the site at ZTGD Content. Shoot us emails. Podcasts at ZTGD.com. Phoenix Down, rocking out with the Lost Odyssey, so go check that out. But other than that, I think that's all the plugs. So unless anybody has anything else, go watch 24 Marvel movies this week.
Yep.
And then watch the TV shows, because they coming out too.
Yep.
Just watch it all.
Watch it all.
Don't do
You
anything else.
got time. You ain't got no, don't go outside.
Yeah.
Go watch Marvel.
Don't pretend you have a life.
Yeah.
Who are you trying to fool?
Can't fool again.
Can't fool again.
Unless anybody has anything else, that's it. Peace, brothers.
Alrighty. And it goes something like this.
Epic fail. to the N4G Podcast.
It's me, Mario.
Zero tolerance.
This is going to be a very interesting episode.
Genghis Khan.
Greetings, programs. I got lost trying to find my way to the secret underground N4G Radio lair.
The Wombat.
I've always lived in angry.
Killer Wolverine. Play games, not consoles. No fanboys allowed.
And then I killed the dragon.
Then I killed the dragon.